Hello friends, today in this tutorial I will basically show you how to concatenate or merge multiple comma separated values files, CSV files inside Node.js application using csv-parser library package. So the application is that we have multiple CSV files, a name, comma separated value files. You will see these are column names, name and age. We have two records in a single file. You will see Smith 23, Kane 24. These are name, age, properties. So this is a single file. This is a second file, file2.csv. Another set of names are there. And the third file is, you will see that this is file3.csv. And we will basically now need to merge these three files content. So whatever content present in the first file, whatever content present in the second file and the third file, we need to concatenate or join this in the resultant file we need to create. So we can do this programmatically in Node.js. So we have written a script right here. If I run the script right here, in the left hand side you will see basically CSV files merged successfully, and you will get a resultant file here which is called as merged file.csv. If I open this file, you will basically see all the columns, all the names, age have been concatenated and joined in the resultant third file. We have the column names, name, age. These are all the records. So a total of 6 records have been there in the resultant file. So if you need to merge a multiple CSV files inside Node.js, we will now be writing the code for that. So let's start the tutorial. So first of all, we will use this package here. So simply install this package, which is csv-parser. So if you just go to npm.js here and just search for this package, which is csv.parser, this is basically the package we are using. It is a library which allows you to join multiple CSV files. So simple command is there, npm i csv-parser. The command is required to install this package. So it's a very popular one. 1 million weekly downloads are there. Simply install this package. I've already done that. After doing this, we just need to require our built-in file system module and also the csv-parser module as well. So just require these two modules. And after that, we will basically define a function which will be called as merge CSV files, and here we will take two arguments. First is the input files, which will be an array, and the second will be the variable where we need to create the resultant file. So this is actually an arrow function. Here we are receiving two arguments here. So once you want to call this function, we will basically pass our input files and the output file. So we just need to create these two variables. First will be the input file. So this will be an array. So here you will provide the path of the CSV file. So file2.csv, file3.csv. So here you can provide as many CSV files as you want in the input array here. And then our output file. So here you can give it a name. Let's suppose I give here merged files.csv. So we are providing these two things here in the function as an argument here, input files and output file. So we are calling this function. So basically this function will get called. So first of all, what we need to do inside this function, we need to create a resultant array here, which will be empty by default. Whenever you start this function, this variable we have declared, the variable is empty by default, empty array, and then we will basically map through all the files which are passed through. We will make use of promises. So asynchronously we will read the file. So this package that we installed, guys, which is csv-parser, it works with the promises library. Promises are built inside JavaScript to carry out the asynchronous task. So we will asynchronously reading the files first of all using promises. For doing that, we will basically make a promises variable, and here we will map through all the files. So there is map variable. If you have studied JavaScript, guys, you will know that in ES6 we have different kinds of array methods such as map, split, concat. So these methods are there in JavaScript, built in JavaScript, so that we can easily use them inside Node.js. So one such method is map method. So here you can provide any function that you want to map to the function file. So this is very much similar to for loop that you have used to loop through an array. So this map method is very much similar. So for each file present inside this array that we are providing here, so it will carry out this function for 3 files. First file, then this file, then this file in a asynchronous manner. So it will run concurrently. It will not run in the sequential manner because promises work in a asynchronous way, because we will read the files concurrently. We will not be reading the files in a sequential manner. So this will increase the efficiency. So now after doing this, we just need to define a promises library here. So we can access the promise by the promise word here, and then these are multiple promises which will be returned, so that we are using promise.all here, and here we will pass the promises and then .then. So .then is used to basically resolve a promise. If the promise is resolved, then this response will be coming. So here we can, after we are done, we will console log a message that all files are being parsed, read and parsed. So this thing we will print out. So for now we need to create this function process file. So inside this function, guys, we will actually carry out the reading process. So here we will define a function which will process file. So here we will receive the file which we need to read. So this file will be file1.csv, file2.csv, file3.csv. So one by one all the files will come, and after that we here from this we will return a promise once again. So you can return a promise from a function using this keyword promise. Either the promise can resolve or reject. So in this case we will carry out the reading process by creating a read stream. So create read stream. So this is a function, built-in function in Node.js. If you want to work with streaming, you can basically open a stream of files to read from. So here we will read the actual file that is passed here. So we will provide the file here, and here we will use the conjunction function pipe. So here we will pipe the data. We will transfer whatever data which is read by this function, which is create read stream. We will pipe it through. We will transfer this data to the csv-parser. So this is a package that we initialized here. If you see in the third line, we are basically capturing the csv variable. So we will transfer this data which is coming from this to the pipe method, and then this pipe method will transfer the data to csv-parser. So asynchronously our files will be read. So ordering will not be the same, guys. So whenever you are working with promises, whenever we are working with asynchronous code, the ordering will not be the same, because if the code will run, it will not work in a sequential manner. These ordering will not remain the same in the resultant file. You will notice in the end of the code. So after you write this line, you now have various events that you can listen. This stream has various events. You will see close, data, drain, and so all these events are there. So one such event is data event. So whenever data is available, we will have this data available in the callback function, and here we can console log, let's suppose, data here. So what will happen if I try to run this application, guys? So what will happen? You will now see basically all the records. If you see, this is an object here. It is reading it as an object. So name property, then age, name, age. So for each property in the CSV file, it is treating it as an object, and it is printing it out. So every time there is some data out there, this function will execute stream.on. It will console log the data. And right here, if you see, ordering is not important here. If you see, the ordering is not there. Smith, basically after that Kane should come, because the ordering is after Smith Kane is there, but after Smith Barry is coming, and then Broad is coming, then Kane, Keith, Jones. You will see that Smith and then Barry is coming. So you can see that by using promises and asynchronous code, ordering doesn't preserve. But for our application, we just need to merge the file. The ordering is not important. If the ordering is important, then lastly we can order the things as well, alphabetically or anywhere you want to see. And right here, after console logging it, we just need to push this data to the empty array. So push data. So whatever empty data that we created, this array, we will push the data inside this. And one such event is also there, which is end event. So whenever the reading process is done, we will simply say resolve the promise. So we will simply call this resolve. So your promise will be successfully resolved. You will see that. So, and one such event is also there. If any sort of error take place, we can reject the promise by passing the error message. That's all. So these are different events out there. Whenever there is some data, we need to push the data in the empty array. Whenever it is done, we can resolve the promise. Whenever there is some kind of error, we can reject the promise. So these three events are there. So now this function is complete. If you try to console log this message, you will now see basically whenever we wrote that, all files are being read and parsed. You will see that this message will printed out in the console. So our promise, this function is done, guys. This process file function is done. All the files have been successfully read and parsed. Now we simply need to merge the file. So how we can merge the file? It's very much easy. We now need to define the second function, which we will write it in this block. We will call this function as write combined data, and this also will return a promise. And here we will simply say when this is done, we will simply say CSV files merged successfully. That's all. So you can even catch some error by using dot catch. So if any sort of error take place, we can simply say console error message, error in merging CSV file. That's also, this is basically the code here. Now we just need to define that function which will actually merge the CSV files. So here we will actually define that function, which is write combined data, and this will not receive any sort of argument. We will again return a promise. So either it can be resolved or rejected. And inside this function, guys, we just need to create this time the output stream. Instead of creating in the previous step, we need to read the data. In this step, we need to write the data. For that, we will need to create a write stream. So there is another method in file system package, which is create write stream. And this method will actually create the output file, the output merging file, to this path, which is passed to the function output file. So we are using this path that we are defining it right here when we call this function merge files.csv. This file will get created using this line. After that, we just need to now append the data in the file. So for that, we can simply say output stream. We will use this method or variable, and this contains the variable, method is write. So we can write some data to this file by using object.keys, and here we can say combine data. The 0th index, this is little bit logic. We just need to join this, use the join method, and separate the file using comma, because this is basically, if you overall, this is a comma separated value file. So we are separating the record by this comma. So that's why we are passing it this comma here in the join method. And then we need to add a new line character. So in order to add a new line character, we will write hash symbol n. So this will add a new line character. That's all. This is needed for writing our header row. Write header rows. If you just execute this application now, your header rows will be created. If you see merged file, So you will now see only the header rows will be created, name, age. This is only needed for the header row, this line that we written right here. Now we just need to append the data in the CSV file. So now what we need to do, we need to have a for each loop, and we need to repeat this for each row, and for each row we will say output stream dot write, and here again we will use the same logic, object values row, and we will separate this using the comma symbol, and then split this using again add a new line character. That's all. But this is the same logic that we use for the header, and we are using it for our rows as well. So after that we just need to end the stream by calling the end method, and it also contains a method on finish. So whenever your writing process is finished, this function will get executed automatically. This is asynchronous, and here you can resolve the promise. So once you resolve the promise, basically this line will get executed, which is CSV files merged successfully, and whenever there is some kind of error, this error callback will be there. So we can here reject. So this error will be there in the callback. That's all. So this is all the code which is required, guys. So if I now re-execute this, and you will basically see, let me delete this, all these files, and rename my output file to, let's suppose, result.csv, and just make sure in the left hand side this file get created, result.csv. Smith23, oh, I think this new line get created. Let me check what is the error. I think I made some error. Okay. This slash needs to be this slash, guys. This slash, if you see, this slash needs to be, we don't need this slash. This slash, I think, yeah. This slash is needed. So just make sure that you have the correct slash. So now if you see result.csv, you will see that Smith, Barry, brought K and Keith Joes. You will see all the records have been concatenated into a single file. So we have concatenated, joined merged multiple CSV files in Node.js using this package, which is csv-parser. We have successfully read and parsed asynchronously using promises in Node.js. So thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. Please hit that like button, subscribe the channel, and I will be seeing you in the next video.